Okay, so why are we talking about this separation of resource? So more I kind of sit down and start thinking about it. A lot of books, again, or things that talk about self-reliance, they go straight to the alternative medicine part of, and without kind of using the rest of the stuff that we have. And I think just like anything that, like just as in survival, if I know, for example, and again, we'll take you survival as example a lot of time because I think it's pretty much the same thing. So if I know that I'll be rescued in less than 3 days, my mentality of survival will be quite different. And then if I think that I'll be surviving 1 month, or if I'll be surviving 6 months, or I don't know when I'll be rescued, because 3 days be okay. I got some food. I'll eat it. I won't have to hunt or something like this. I'll hanker down, make some signs for somebody to find me and things like that, and that's it. Not gonna start thinking about making my own tools with or my own cordage or my own knife with a rock or something. If I think I'm gonna be out of there by 3 days, because all that time that I would be spending in this resource would be time kind of wasted that I could have kept myself warm and everything, because most likely I'll be fine in the next 72 hours. But if I think that I'll be uh, save in more than a month, so for whatever reason, so for example, in the Andes, when that plane crash and that rugby team got caught up in the Andes and stuff, well, their mentality was like, whoa, okay, we're right stuck in the middle of a mountain. Probably we won't be rescuing everything. So it may be a long time. So then, yes, you're talking about maintaining your resources and everything. And again, your medicine too will be different, because there's some people like, so that's one part of again that on the ethics, and that's why we're talking about this, is that, for example, if you have someone that needs surgery and your food supplies and everything is there, and this person probably won't make it without surgery. If you're in the 1 month or 3 months going on, then there's no way that you can bring this person to your resource. Are you gonna, again, that ethics? And again, those are hard questions, and I understand harsh questions and everything, but and those are questions we should ask though. Which we provide food for this person and lose a resource that could maybe help us or help us and other people that are with us to survive a few more days with the supplies that we're giving to someone that most likely will die. So this is where that time frame kind of come from. So that's why the month, it's more like a barrier. But like, for example, if I'm hiking and I got my backpack and I'm a day pack and whatever, and I twist my ankle and something happens, I won't get into this mindset of medicine that we're talking about, because I know that I got the resource. Probably in the next less than 72 hours I would be brought up and everything. If I'm in an airplane and the airplane crash, it's quite different mentality. Even if the resource will be 72 hours and stuff, my mentality is quite different, because I do not have the resource. I do not have the supplies or anything. I didn't bring anything with me. I have what's in the whatever first aid kit or whatever survival kit that I could, even if I could pick it up from that airplane, because it didn't crash with it or it didn't burn or anything like this. But whatever I could salvage from that airplane crash, now that's my resource that I have. Then yes, we'll be applying those. So as you can see, there's different mentality. But I think the 1 month will really help us go into stuff. And why is because I think here we'll be talking more alternative medicine and the creativity. And here we'll be talking about more the two other medicine that we're talking about. The concept will apply to like for disaster medicine and stuff, but here basically, here's what I'm saying. Is that here we'll use a supply. Here we'll start using our dressings and stuff like this. If I think that anything under 1 month and stuff like this, I will be using my supplies. I will be using my dressing. I will be using my antibiotics and things like that. If I think that my situation is anything after a month, and again, this is, I cannot go with all the stuff, so it will be based on the evaluation of your situation that you'll be doing by yourself, right? So then I would start thinking about alternative medicine and creativity, meaning that I have to create my own stuff. And we'll be talking about how to make your own dressings and things like that. That's when I would start thinking about this. That's when I would start talking about giving herbs and things like that. And why is it important to kind of make this differential as well? Is that 1/3 rules too will help us. Because now if you're seeing this, anything after 1 month, that means let's say you want to be prepared for 6 months of survival, of self-reliance medicine. So that means that you would have to have enough antibiotics, dressings, and everything for 6 months of this. That's huge supplies. Huge supplies. Stuff that you probably won't be able to carry with you. Stuff that probably would get lost. And based on that concept of that video that I was telling, the 1/3, I mean, 2/3 of their supplies that you just did for your 6 months, you just wasted. You just lost it. Something happened to it, or whatever happened, or your antibiotic went. And so you're losing a lot of money, and you're losing a lot of energy trying to recreate or trying to keep up with some stuff that you couldn't. So that's why I think by putting in a 1 month makes it easier when we're going to build our first aid kit, when we're going to be building or what kind of supply we have. It is easier to think, how much antibiotics do I need for 1 month? How much antibiotic or how much supply do I need for dressing wounds for 1 month? Much easier to think about the 1 month versus over there. But over here, we'll be talking a little bit more when we'll get into this part of our chart there. We'll start thinking more about how to recreate. So how can we create our own dressing? How can we use whatever? How should we have, like, can we grow our own herbs and things like that? And so probably that would be more a better solution, because if you can recreate it, that means if you lose it, you can't recreate it. So that's why whatever happened to your supplies, if you're in this mentality here after the month, that means that you can recreate that. But if you go straight to this over here, I find it's a waste of calories and things like that, because you could use your supplies and everything and stuff. And so just even that disease, to separate our thinking like this, I find it help us, because first we're focusing on different things. And so just like in survival, primitive skills, you don't use it right away. If you're going to do 72 hours, you're going to start your fire. You won't start doing a bow and drill if you have like a wet fire and a nice starters and stuff like this, or in lighter. You'll start your fire with that, because that's what you have. So exactly the same thing here is that we'll be using our medicine right here, and we'll do our supply for less than a month because of that. On this part here, though, we'll start thinking about what else we can use and stuff. And I keep talking about antibiotics because a lot of people talk about it, and I'll give you my thought of on the antibiotics and part of it and stuff. But I think it will be much more easier to think about having a 1 month supply, and again, a 1 month supply times 3 because of that 1/3 things, than trying to carry 6 months of supply for whatever you want, versus the possibility of recreate tools and things like that that will be more over here. And that means as well as that anything that is greater than 1 month, so whatever happens, you're not quite sure like of the situation and stuff like this. That means now you're self-sustainable. So that means that you can recreate your own stuff. You, even if the situation you thought it was going to be 2 months, but actually it lasts 6 months, or it lasts 7 months, or it lasts whatever. Well, you're recreating your stuff right there. So that will be that will be the reason of that 1 month and greater months and stuff. And when we talk about disease process and stuff, that will help us too. So right now the idea is the supplies and stuff, but for example, chronic disease, yes, chronic disease so when we do our triage as well over here, we're not quite sure how we'll be able to do. So for example, if somebody is dependent on oxygen, maybe you'll be able to help them over here, but after 1 month, it'll be pretty hard. And the reason also we're talking about this is that a lot of people in their preparations, they're talking about bugging in, bugging out, and leaving and stuff like this. You have to start also encompassing your medical people. So like your medical, so for example, if you're a group of people that's going to move in, or if your home family or something like this, and if someone has, like for example, diabetes or something like this, if you think the situation will be less than 1 month, yeah, sure, but probably you'll be able to bug out, like people say, and stuff like this. If it's anything greater than 1 month, maybe it'll be harder to do. And maybe at that point, you'll have to start getting closer to whatever is looks like a healthcare center or a hospital, whatever it is at that point. So that see like what I'm getting at is that basically by putting a barrier like this, it changed our focus and change our mentality. And I think it's important that we put that very early, because yeah, the supplies that we're going to do will be affected if I have a situation that's going to happen less than 1 month versus a situation that happens greater than 1 month. And again, 1 month doesn't mean that, yeah, again, like if I go for a hike, I won't be thinking about the same way that self-reliance medicine, I won't be thinking about the same way that I would be if I will be applying more wilderness medicine than self-reliance medicine. And that's why, like for example, disaster medicine is pretty similar to wilderness medicine too, but still different. And so self-reliance is different than wilderness medicine because of that thinking. So really important at this point that we put that on, because when we're going to do exercise and stuff like this, will make a difference. We'll do, that will be done for this month. And any comments and stuff like this, put it on. So basically this is the base of what we're going to be talking about and stuff. And sorry if it's been dry and stuff, but I wanted to be sure that we establish what's been going on and stuff. And we'll be talking a little bit more now, interesting stuff, so like triage and things like that and stuff. And probably the next one will be the ethics, because again, it's a big part of what we're talking about and stuff. So leave your comments, write to me, and hopefully you enjoyed that series.